Awesome, awesome hearts, Rima words directly from the Father. I'm sitting here working and really zoning in on what everybody's saying and what God is saying through you. I liked what Lawrence said about, being seated in that position, that God has placed us, through the accomplished works of Jesus Christ, that being at his right hand and all of what comes with that. And, when we're spiritually mindful of that position, that's when we're walking with the Father. That's when we're spiritually, alive and, we're doing his will and we're seeking him and operating with power, from on high. That really resonated with me. Um, some other things, Jason, when you were sharing about, the one-to-ones and, the benefit of the one-to-ones, I'm gonna harp on that in a little bit. Everybody's sharing, which is really awesome. And Carl, when you said that, when we're in harmony with our Father, you know, that's the same place, we're at that right hand of God, but when we're in harmony with him, seeking him, that's where he works through us. We just surrender and we're just meek and humble and we just walk. Can you be meek and bold at the same time? Yes. God is showing me that. So I came back from my daughter's home and jumped right into, you know, the thingamajigs going on in this house, the roles, the duties. And it was a holiday weekend too. So I had family, we were hosting, and um, I usually do one-to-ones with Lawrence on Mondays. I don't know, I think we wound up doing it on a Tuesday. I forget which day. But, that morning, I I almost got talked out of it because I was tired. And the amazing thing about the one-to-ones is that it's just the way that God sets it up for us right now for him to take care of us. And I wasn't at my best. Like I knew that, but I also knew I had to have a one-to-one, even though my mind was like, oh, you're tired. He's probably busy. He's still blah, 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 blah. I just called anyway. You know what I mean? I pushed through that. And on the other side of that conversation, not even on the other side, in the one-to-one, you know, I was just, you know, speaking in tongues and really ready to receive the words that, Lawrence was going to speak by the Spirit of God. And he started off with stewardship, and, he was piggybacking off of another, I guess, one-to-one. And it was like, oh, dag, give me a minute. You know what I mean? Like, I know with the areas I need to work on, but he just went straight to it. And the part about somebody said that, even I think it was Becky, stewarding your thoughts. But, all of it started lining up. God started showing me why I wasn't feeling well. Like everything just, the revelations were just coming and coming as I was listening to the Rima words. Like when you get to the point where you're listening, but you're talking to God while you're listening, like, okay, Father, you really have to put yourself down. Like, like when I say yourself down, like whatever you think, whatever issues, just put it all away and just like put a clean slate so there's nothing between you and God. Put your pride away. Put um, your self-focus away. Like it's all God focused in a one-to-one. Like that's how I approach the one-to-ones. And I get so much out of it. And another thing God is showing me is just to be quiet, not just in my one-to-ones, in general. I'm laughing at myself, but it's true. Like I'm learning how God is really teaching me. He's really showing me, as I walk with him, how to walk in that power and also to becoming the woman that he created me to be, operating at my highest level spiritually. And, as Ethel says, getting all those quirks out. It's a continuous process. It's a journey. Our life's journey on this earth while we walk with God is going from glory to glory to glory, and I believe, like, this is how I think about it, going from glory to glory to glory. Each destination, each part of glory in between one and another, you're just letting go of the flesh, the personalities, the problems, the paradigms. You just let each point of glory to glory is a point of growth in God. Just growing with Him. And I'm just so blessed to be connected where I am right now because, after that one to one, God was showing me, it doesn't matter what the things were, but I was just tired in general. And also in the one to ones, I got reminded so quickly of what I wasn't focusing on. I was distracted. I didn't even know I was distracted. You know what I mean? Like I didn't even know I was distracted. And it just started coming to me. And Lawrence said the same things that he says to us all the time by the Spirit of God, you know, and things that I share with my daughter by the Spirit of God. But I can't get caught up in the fact that, oh, I forgot. Like, it's not about the flesh, it's not about me and myself. Like, you put all that stuff away, so you can receive. And what did he say? He encouraged me in God. He reminded me about confessions, about staying with God. He just started reminding me what I obviously in that moment in that day was not focusing on. And it just quickened my spirit. It put me back on track, meaning, and I've said this before, but it's so true. Like after a one to one, I walk away with a clearer picture, you know? When you have a photographer has that camera, that lens, and you're trying to get that focus and everything is blurry. First of all, I didn't even know I walked to the one to one blurry. I just knew I was tired, but I wasn't like not blessed. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't something major hanging over me. But yeah, there was some little things there that needed to be highlighted, put a flashlight on it. And God did that in the one to one. Because Lawrence is ready and willing to serve the Father and serve his people. And then I'm ready and willing with meekness to hear from God, to hear the Rima words, the words that Lawrence is speaking, because he chooses to be that a leader for us. And as he's speaking, hearing them as the words of God. And they are. Once you turn off that carnal way of seeing and you just open yourself up spiritually to God and you speak in tongues and you open up and receive, it is from God because he was highlighting for me. And then I walked away with like that clear vision. Oh, I forgot, confessions. And guess what I did all day? I just did exactly what I was encouraged to do, right? Which was making those confessions, not focusing on what I see, but focusing on what I want and then say it. Like, speaking in tongues. I've been speaking in tongues all day today, and I'm just rejuvenated. My spirit is quickened and I'm back on, like I'm focused. And ironically enough, like I said, I didn't know I was out of focus, but God told me I was out of focus. So anyway, I'm just, encouraging those that desire, to have that benefit. I think it was Jason who said that the one to ones are for our benefit. Speaking in tongues is for our benefit. Honoring God is for our benefit. I have a lot of things going on this summer, and I have to like kind of map everything out. But you know what? Before mapping everything out, like how about I apply that principle, that spiritual principle that, okay, God, when I take care of your business, you take care of my business. I'm honoring you, Father. This is a direct, me honoring you is a direct response to your love for me and the blessings that I have, and also making his business my business, praying for the laborers. I hadn't done that in a couple of days, and I was reminded to do it and then seeing it, I was listening to, as I was listening to Amber and Danny talk about Keely and Helen, I want a Keely and a Helen. And, but, also knowing and being patient that God is preparing me. You know, like even this weekend was a lesson about when you're giving and giving and giving. Yes, we're operating from that power of God, but our bodies still need to rest. You know, even Jesus Christ, when, you know, he was in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights, he didn't eat and he didn't, I don't think he slept. Correct me if I'm, you know, wrong, but he was weary. He was weary. His flesh got weary. You know, the ministers, the angel, ministering angels came and ministered to him after his encounter, um, you know, with the adversary, but he got weary. You know, we can get weary. You know, our bodies need to rejuvenate. So that's what God's been showing me, you know, getting back on track to my routine, not only just my field and my confessions and all the things he's encouraging me to do, but also taking care of myself, you know, my body and the things that I was doing before, waking up early and drinking water, all those things put together is the best me moving and walking, you know, on this earth and spiritually and, you know, physically as well. So really that's where I'm at. Like I don't think I have anything else to share. Oh, by the way, I'm going to India and Nepal. Okay. And I was talking to Lawrence about that too. Like how I don't even know how I'm gonna tell my husband I'm going to India, even though he knows about India, because it's we've been talking about this, different believers have been going for years as I've been connecting. And so I said, yeah, Lawrence, I'm just giving it to God. Like, I don't even know how I'm going to tell him. He said, why would you just tell him and tell him he's going too? You know, something like that. So, you know, my husband, he was just here a little while ago before, around when fellowship started. And I was prompted to ask him, hey, babe, you want to go to India? It was like, yeah, sure. If it's free, yeah, I'll definitely go. We're gonna go for free. Like God's gonna take care of it, you know. He's seen videos, he knows what India is about, and he said he wants to go. So that surprised me. But again, you know, we shouldn't really, well, we shouldn't be,
Mommy.
when God just shows out, like he just shows.
What's up, mommy?
So anyway, I'm gonna stop talking now. I'm going back to work. I'm blessed to hear from everyone. I'm just blessed. You know, God has us in the palm of his hand. You know, his heart and his desire is to just fellowship with us, bless us. You know, he's our friend. You know, he called Abraham a friend of God, you know. And you know, that's what we have to hold on to, you know, that intimacy. Somebody else was sharing that today about really just seeking him, you know. I have these flowers growing in spring here, and I have like a bush in front of my house, and I have a tree that kind of blocks two of them from full sun. And then the two that are on the side getting the full sun, they also get more water because I don't have, what do you call those things? The drains. I'm still working on getting those drains. So a lot of more water goes to one part than the other part. So clearly, when you pull up to my house, you see two little bushes, smaller bushes, and then two huge, vibrant bushes. And it's so, every time I see this, I'm remembered about the more time we spend with God, the more we connect, the more we seek him with our hearts and we make his desires our desires. We're like those two plants getting the full maximum benefit of, you know, the nutrients that it's getting. And spiritually it's the same for us. You know, we keep connecting, we keep doing what we're encouraged to do, abundantly sharing, you know, with a cheerful heart. You know, Danny mentioned that. It's gotta be like, okay, Father, thank you. You know, you give with thanksgiving, you know, you just cheerful. And you're trusting and you know that, you know, what you're doing is just to honor him so you can be a blessing. And the speaking in tongues and all the things that God is encouraging us to do in this fellowship is for our benefit. And as it's for our benefit, it's also for the benefit of the body. You know, the stronger we are as we walk out in the world, we're the light. Somebody else said that, and the people will come, but they have to be attracted to that light, that Christ in us, you know, and that's just my desire. You know, I've heard it, it's a song, I think I heard it where, you know, God is better than the best thing the world has to offer. You know, our fulfillment only can come from God, not our spouses, not our children, nothing. Nothing in this world can compare to that fulfillment that you get from God. Like Amber said, you know, that peace, you know, all of that comes from that relationship with God. So I'm just hungry for that. And I want to stay in that place. And I'm thankful to Lawrence, our minister, our leader, and our friend for just, making this available. And, his heart and service towards God is so big. It's an example for me. When he's ministering and doing the minister thing and leading, I'm watching because I'm learning too, because that's what I want to be. I'm grateful that I have leaders and people in this fellowship who are really hungry for God. And that's my example. The Christ that's working in you is the Christ in me, but it's also my example. And I'm grateful for that. I'm so, so grateful for where I'm connected and for where God has placed me. And I'm gonna stop talking now because I think I said that already. Love you all. Good night. Mwah.